Alright, so we're moving along into spring, and I'm still uploading a lot of my old songs on the channel. Um, I'll do some thrifting from time to time, spring, summer, at least once or twice, because I can fill up a little bit of space along the bottom for VHS. Later on, once I get the toys I want, some of the main ones, I'm not going to go after every toy line. I just get a few from each toy line, like wrestling. I'll get a few because there's so much you could go into wrestling, so many different variations. I'm trying to go into the little bit older ones, and you'll still see a toy come up from time to time on my channel because I do want it to be about toys as well. My collection, and that was the last thing on my mind. But I wanted it once I got caught up with the old horror movies. And my collection, when it comes to movies, it's mostly about Blockbuster and the movies they had. Like, I don't go into the other genre forms like Snap Syndrome, Severance, Arrow movies, or Region 2. A lot of people collect on those, and that's fine. Or they collect on the newer releases like Laserdisc, or older ones like Laserdisc, something like that. But for me, it's about the VHS, and that's what I gravitate to. And then I go into the CDs. CDs were part of me ever since high school, so I had a lot of CDs back then. I wish I kept them, but when I needed money, I would sell them off to the flea market or somewhere when the stores were around at the time. You only get like $1 a piece on them if you do that, so I don't recommend selling off your collection, even if you're selling it off on eBay. Piece by piece, you'll make a little bit of money to buy something new, but old stuff will make you happy. Just hold on to it. That's the best I could tell you if you're a collector. Unless if you really don't care about this stuff anymore, then you have to do something with it. I'm not a seller, so I cannot just go on eBay and sell a bunch of stuff because I don't know that part of selling. I'm just a private collector here in Canada. In Canada, collecting VHS now is very hard. There are a couple of stores in my area that do carry old media and the flea market, which I've been to a few times this year, beginning of the winter. And now, like, my internet connection back, I lost it for a while. And you can only rely on the donation stores what they get in, but it's very hard picking at the donation stores now. You don't get as much horror movies anymore. Plus, you have to rely on the new movies like Blu-ray, and Blu-ray doesn't come around as much either. So once in a while, I'll come into a new release for my collection, but try to pull away from the movies a little bit this year and come into toys. And as well, I'm gonna stop the games for a little bit so I could get my toys, at least a couple of toys coming for wrestling this year. So by spring and summer, I should have some figures up on display. And summer, you'll see a room tour. Probably every few months, you might see a room tour. Depends if more changes happen. I'll do another room tour here and there. But when it comes to toys, it's going to be very slow. I'll add one here and there. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to go over a whole toy line. Like, if I start wrestling, then I'm going to have to collect on every wrestling figure because I want this channel to be about wrestling as well, but I don't want it to be about every single wrestler. There's a lot of wrestlers I don't know, a lot of wrestlers I don't like. Plus I grew up on the old wrestling, and the old wrestlers are kind of expensive on eBay with shipping. I might get into some newer toy lines down the line, but these kind of toys I don't find locally at the donation stores at all, so mostly those bulky plastic stuff. So I'm not going to go into those, but I do want to go into comics a little bit on the other side. I already started with comics. Wonder Woman was the first comic figure I picked up this year. Time to get a few more, and then a couple toys will come in for the other side. Maybe build up Star Wars again next year a little bit, and then maybe try to get into a different line come next year, like Doctor Who or something. maybe Ninja Turtles or something on the other side a little bit. But the one side is going to be for comics, the other side is going to be for the little characters like Star Wars and stuff like that. And then a couple other characters in between maybe. And a little bit of wrestling will come in. So once in a while a CD will come in, once in a while I may go thrifting, maybe I can find some VHS. I'll keep an eye out for TV shows, which I only got like half of Simpsons, I only got like half of South Park, so those are very hard to find in my area, maybe in USA. You can see those all the time, but here in Canada you don't anymore. Thrifting used to be better a couple of years ago, it slowly started dropping. But maybe it'll come back. Maybe thrifting will revive again. Don't really know. So I won't go at least every few months. It's not going to be every month like it was, because thrifting now is kind of nothing there. So it's not worth going every month even, unless we want to find the same old stuff all the time. Maybe it's a little bit easier in the US. I know some people go thrifting there, like they go every couple weeks, but here you don't get stuff coming in like that all the time. Most of it's like Disney stuff, Western. Once in a while you'll get a good comedy movie, a horror movie, very hard to come by even. So better horror movies, you have to buy them online or go to Walmart. So I might venture to the flea market from time to time over the summer. I'm going to try to take the camera with me next time I go, since I have a working camera now. Got another camera in backup, but it's going to be a little bit more expensive to get that one working. Buying parts for a camera, you don't really know if the camera is going to be working, especially if you buy a used camera somewhere. You don't really know if it's going to turn on or not. But it's still recording it. And with this new channel, I do have a fair bit more space to talk, and so a little bit more freedom to document what I want with my collection. I know a lot of people do weird ways to document their collection, but for me it's about YouTube, and that's the way I'm going to document my collection and findings, and my songs. So you'll get a lot of my old songs as well, and whoever wants them, whenever they're there, songs will be on this channel. The new songs, the original songs by me, so that's the only way I'm going to document them. I'm not going to sell them piece by piece on Amazon for $1 or whatever. They'll be on YouTube for you guys. You can download them whenever you want to. They're all original songs, and mostly I sing about the mountain, honky tonk women, kind of stuff like that. The old man, like coal miner songs, something like that. That's what I sing about. What I gravitate to when I do my songwriting. And plus now I got my Elvis costume, so I can relax a little bit with the costume and just enjoy adding some toys into my collection. Toys was the last thing on my list because I was building up horror movies a lot last year. Some of those old horror movies on DVD can be pretty expensive. You have to hunt down for them, and if you lose your internet, then you cannot rely on getting better stuff. So I lost my internet for a while last year, but it finally came back, and I finally had a chance to get something good in. But when it comes to toys, I'm gonna have to really be careful, get something. But over the next couple of years, there's gonna be some changes, not in the setup, but in terms of what I'm picking up for the collection. Maybe over the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, there's gonna be some good stuff coming in. So it's gonna be slow based, but I'm gonna get something I want. As long as my food and snacks is good, because the food in the grocery stores is not crazy gone up. Even if you just want to do like a barbecue or something, you're paying a lot more for that. Drinks have gone up, so drinks have gone up a lot actually over the past year in my grocery stores, and overspend on what I want, and then my food and snacks are going to be very low, then I'm not going to be happy. So I need to balance out my snacks and food first. So starting now in the spring, I'm going to be on a new budget, and I have to control it. If I don't, if I start buying stuff I want, then my food and snacks is going to suffer throughout the summer. And this summer is long and hot, so you gotta drag that out. And that's how things will get started. Add a little bit here and there. You can get a loan if you want to, but if you're not working, that's going to be hard to pay that back. Then you're going to struggle in the end. So sometimes with a loan, you can get some good stuff right away on deals, but for me, it's going to be slowly going. Get one toy here. Even if I get one or two over this summer, I'll probably get at least one or two. I'll try to get at least one more comic book figure for the other side. A couple of wrestling toys or something throughout the summer. May get a game or two here and there, maybe a movie. I'll be happy with that. Maybe go thrifting once or twice. That's all I could expect from collecting on a small budget, but it's going to be something good because of shipping and eBay. You're paying a lot more for a vintage toy or old movie. Sometimes old horror movies can be more expensive. Or a new movie, because shipping is more expensive on eBay now, so I need to balance that out first. First I need to balance out my food and snacks, and then balance out the shipping and costs and all that. But something will come in. If it's not all the time, every other once in a while I'll put something in. But it's going to be maybe a toy, maybe a game. But once in a while I'll come back into my CDs, I'll come back into my movie once in a while, so may even come back into old VHS from time to time later on. So as long as you don't take your stuff and start packing it up and giving it away, selling on eBay, you can put it in another spare room or put it in the garage, put it in a box. Maybe in a year or two you could come back into that toy line. The toy line you don't want anymore, the games you don't want anymore. If you, I don't like having one thing, that's another thing. If you start doing one whole thing of like a toy line or something, then it's just going to be one thing to look at. I like having like a mesh of everything. Plus, toy line, certain things will get more expensive quickly. Games, certain things will get more expensive quickly. A lot of you gamers know how expensive stuff is, so especially if you're buying in boxes. You see, I have a whole basement to fill up, so they're going crazy over those expensive boxes, and things get very expensive pretty quickly because they jack up the shipping on you all the time, or they jack up cost on you because it's considered a vintage item. A lot of those old items, the cost goes through the roof, so you gotta plan things out. Just because you have a whole lot of space, you're not going to rush to fill it. If you're going to rush to fill it, then you're going to spend a lot of money. So you got to balance things out in the collection, and that's where I'm at right now. So it's a kind of an update, kind of chat kind of thing. I'm going to probably put it for kind of around summertime. Every couple weeks I could do a little chat kind of thing. How to start a collection or maintain a collection. That's one of my call, how to maintain a collection. On a smaller budget, so you don't go hungry. You do summer's long and hot, so you gotta properly even things out. How you say, but once in a while it's gonna be some random items. Sometimes a movie might come in, a song, a CD might come in, or something will come in because I want a certain toy and it's got like 40, 50 bucks on shipping. Unless you're going to be willing to pay that 50, 60, 70 bucks on shipping. Sometimes old VHS is that way as well. Especially Friday the 13th, Halloween. You're not paying 10, 20 bucks for it. You're paying 100 bucks for it. So you gotta balance things out carefully too. Those old items are kind of expensive in every single genre. Whether you want toys, whether you want games, whether you want movies, whether you want whatever else you want. Autographs, or I know some people collect autographs and stuff now, so there's always something to go into. But old toy lines and where they start with older stuff, it's going to be more expensive, so that's how things are. If they're going to become a seller and a collector, for me it's just about being a collector, and I got to space things out carefully. Thanks for watching.